Hello, everybody. Oh my God, I am so excited today to chat to one of my besties. A lot of people have asked me, how do I know this person? How did we meet? He's a superstar. I will introduce him now, just so you know that it's all happening, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about him before he starts to chat, because I probably won't even get a word in edgewise. It is the gorgeous Andrew Derbyshire, and I'm sending a request now to join me there. Ange, hello. There you are, beautiful. Okay, don't speak yet because I haven't actually given you your full intro. So, Andrew, I don't know if you guys know. I mean, I think our followers are also following, so are also online. So Andrew is this massive West End star. He starred in the original cast of We Will Rock You. He was also Joseph. He was Joseph and Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. He was in Thriller and a zillion other shows in the West End. He is an absolute superstar. And I'm going to let Andrew talk now because I want to ask the first question that everyone has been asking is, how do we know each other? So rather than ask, you're laughing, we auditioned for something together. So you tell the story.
First of all, how are you? I love you.
I'm fine, beautiful, and I'm ready with my... Oh, yes.
Oh, it's so lovely to see you. First of all, I'm glad it worked. I just want to say, so I had a little rehearsal with my mum up north of England, and I'd had a shower, and I had just like my boxer shorts on, and because it's my mum, and I pressed play, and she was like, oh my goodness, what are you doing? Because of the way that the camera was, it looked like I was naked, and her and my mum and dad were screaming. I was like, no, I'm not, I've got my boxers on. Anyway, thank you for having me. I love you. Yeah, so we met, I think it was about 9 years ago now. We did a workshop together for a film that we were up for. We did a massive audition process, and that's how we met, and we've been inseparable ever since. And yeah, here we are.
And here we are. No, I mean, oh my God, we've traveled together, we've toured together, we've sung together. We did a duet together that was on one of my records, for the fitness record, Stay Pumped. And it was so much fun. It was specifically written for us. Yes, called How Much Is That Hottie in the Window? We had such a blast singing it. We did a couple of shows actually, and so that was great. I mean, wow, we go back a ways.
We did a lot of practice. I was so proud of that track with you because, again, it was very kind of us, and we did a lot of prides, didn't we? And actually, usually we're quite nervous at performing at these events and things, but we just had so much fun. I think we laughed. We even put in I Will Survive in the set list, and we were just stood there in the crowds of people just like...
Gay pride, you got to throw in an I Will Survive, right?
It's brilliant, absolutely, and everyone was going crazy, which I loved. And then we did... so a lot of Staceys fans and people like that. So I host London Gay Pride, which unfortunately we couldn't do last year because of the COVID. And so it's back this year, September the 11th, I'll be hosting, and Stacey will be back. Maybe we can revive the I Will Survive again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And of course we'll be singing my new single, so that's all exciting. And I can't wait to get up on stage again. Honestly, like, itching.
I don't know whether we're going to be, even like for myself, I don't know whether it's just going to be an absolute disaster, or I'm going to just talk too much or sing too loud, or it's just been so long, hasn't it? And I'm so excited, but at the same time, there is that fear, and I've been performing for so long now, like yourself, and there is that fear of, am I good enough? Oh my goodness, can I do it again? What happens if this happens? But I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. It's just been a long time.
Riding a bike, babe. It's just like riding a bike. You and the stage were made for each other. So the minute you step onto that stage, you've got the whole audience. You are so engaging. I've been to so many of your one-man shows that you always bring down the house because you're so personable. And what you do is you go, you engage so much with the audience. People relate to you. You tell stories about your own life. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows, because Andrew and I traveled to India together on a cruise ship. Okay, we shared a room. It was unbelievable, big, beautiful room, and a gorgeous balcony. It was like.
Well, they don't call them rooms on Seabourn, in case Seabourn's watching. They call them suites, my darling. Yes.
We had a lovely time. It was so.
It was one of my favourite trips because so a lot of people, just so you know, I do guest end slots as well now for cruise ships, which I absolutely love because I've been doing it for 5 years. And the reason why I love that and came away from the West End is that allows me to be able to be me, to be able to do my own show, choose my own songs, work with incredible musicians. Some of the companies I work for, Celebrity Cruises, you know, Seabourn that we went on. And this is like a high-end luxury ship with the most amazing guests. And I was like, what, you want me to go on from Burnley? I mean, are you sure you want me to go on?
Sell yourself short. You're like, you are.
You were the best.
How amazing you are. I mean, you are.
Oh. Well, you were the best. You were the best guest to have because on top of when you're with Seabourn, you also have to have dinner and host tables. I'm going to say, what do I do? And there was like a manual of like you know you have to be the last person to sit down. You have to choose the wine. And I was like, and because Miss Jackson is a pro at hosting, she's the best person ever. I felt like I was in safe hands because it could have gone really wrong. I mean, after a couple of glasses of wine, you know me, everything was just perfectly normal, you know, But we went to India, we extended the trip, we stayed on for another 3 days. We went to the Taj Mahal and it was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, incredible. It was so cool. Oh my God. So I have a couple of more questions for you. So first of all, lockdown was really hard. I mean, you didn't, you're a proper family man. You have a massive family, and that what makes you so endearing is that you're so close to your family and you give so much of yourself. I mean, I'm always amazed, and also extended family. If anybody needs help, you're the first person to give someone a lift to the supermarket to help them with their groceries. I mean, you don't understand what an unbelievable human being you are. And I just have to say, so during lockdown, it must have been just so hard. I mean, you know, not being able to perform and doing what you love to do. And social media was great, and obviously so was Zoom and all that. We could chat. But I just felt so, particularly for people who are on the stage and traveling on the stage, and this is your life and your livelihood, you know, whereas I was able to go into the studio and continue recording, you know, records, which hopefully will be, well, actually we are releasing this summer, but I mean, you know, I created a lot of content during the lockdown. But for people who, you know, everything on Broadway, West End, all the events and everything that are being shut, really, really must have been hard for people who perform as much as you do. So that must have been a real, you know.
It was. I mean, you know, Zoom concerts, they're not the same. As you know, I like to engage. And, you know, the theatre world, especially, a lot of my friends in the theatre world and the cruise world in guest sense, you know, it's really funny. It's a really, really small world, isn't it? And, you know, it's a very small community of people. And so, you know, I think we kept each other going. Obviously, the first lockdown it felt like a summer holiday, let's face it. And then it got harder and harder and harder. Listen, we share the same love. I try and get people to understand it. I know it's not easy, but exercise is my absolute love.
And talk about that next.
Thanks to you as well, you know.
Being outside, we met to exercise, and we did our power walks and our HIIT classes. And so I wanted to bring this into the music because, you know, every time we're out, I'm the one that's always choosing music, 140 beat per minute music so we can jump around. But when you're not with me and we're not working out together, what is your go-to music? What do you like to listen to? I actually have friends who listen to show tunes.
Well, I really laugh at things like this because I've got a lovely gym in Chiswick and Virgin Active, and they do fantastic classes when they're back up and running. And I really love to run a lot. I should probably do a lot more weights, but I love cardio because I love the way that it makes me feel. And I'm on a running machine, and I say to my partner, I laugh at myself because I'm like, I wonder what people think the type of person I am or the way that I look, you know. I wonder what they're thinking, the type of music that I'm listening to. If they only could take my headphones out and put them in my ears. I think they must think that I'm listening to, like, you know, house music or club music. I mean, Barbara Streisand, I mean, you know, Bette Midler, and then obviously I love the 90s. We've talked about this. I love the old classic 90s, but show tunes, you know, anything that makes me happy. But I just sometimes think if people could actually listen to what I'm listening to, it's a shock. But do you know what? You know me. I love lots of different styles of music. I love 90s, you know, No Limit, Freed from Desire, all of that. But then I do love musical theatre. You know, I love show tunes, soul music, anything that makes me happy. I'm not really into this hard house techno, you know, but anything that just gets me going.
Jackson.
Stacey Jackson, of course. But when I'm working out with you, you never play your music. You never play it.
Okay, I'll take you up on that one. I think my kids are completely sick of my music in the house.
Sick of it? Yeah. No, they're not. They love it. But I mean, we've got the same style of music as well. I mean, your guy Curtis plays the most incredible music, just anything that just gets you going, which of course is what your music does. It's related to exercise and getting your body and your heart rate going. And so, yeah, a whole genre of music, really.
Yeah, I really do. I mean, when I write, it doesn't always start off as a dance record or a fitness record. Sometimes I'm just writing and I start off with the piano and I'll just write a ballad, and then all of a sudden it becomes a dance track. But I've been listening lately to to music of the 80s. It's so nostalgic, and I have to say I'm really back into and it just brings back all these memories for me, and I'm super excited about like some of these 80s records have been remastered and remixed, and I'm actually really honing into my
well, it's really funny you should but it's really funny you should say that, though, because a friend of mine was recording the other day and she played me some of her songs in her car, and I was like, oh my god, this is like such 80s vibe. And I think you're right. I think that's where the niche is going at the moment, that 80s sound. I mean, my mum was always playing 80s music. You know, I love my mum's style of music. She always listened to UB40, Bananarama, you know, Bros, all of that stuff. And again, I'm such a passion with 80s music. Boy George.
Yeah, you see, that's funny because that's a big jaunt, obviously. But when I grew up in the 80s, for me, I was a rocker. And so
yes.
It was Pat Benatar, Joe Jett, Van Halen.
Stacey Jackson, you are still a rocker now, darling. You're better than ever. Yeah, listen, I've seen you on the dance floor. Trust me, you're fine. You're a rocker still.
I love it. I love it. So honestly, I'm super excited to get to be able to see you more often now. I mean, that the world is opening up, and I mean,
17th of May, we can have dinner, can we? 17th of May?
So we're having dinner now. It's all good. And so outdoors still, but I think that's going to change soon. I think in a week, we're going to be able to have dinner inside, which would be nice. So, so that's good. And yeah, I can't believe it. It's crazy that we're already going into the summer.
Yeah.
And do you have any specific summer plans? Because I know that you are going somewhere. So why don't you tell everyone what's happening?
So yes, I'm still kind of dealing with the contract at the moment.
Okay, so then we won't talk about it. Maybe you can.
Well, maybe there's a possibility. Obviously, at the moment, my life is the cruise ships, and I'm so grateful for them. They are working tirelessly, you know, to get these machines up and running. I mean, listen, it's my opinion and my opinion only, but I've been working on them for 5 years, and without COVID, there is nowhere more safer and clean. And you know, without COVID, you have to wash your hands before dinner, wash your hands before you've been to the loo. So anyway, whatever, I can't go into that, but they're being so careful and they're being absolutely incredible, and things are starting to move. I had a wonderful call last week with a fantastic company, and I'm just about to sign on the dotted line. I will have to go. So I'm a guest entertainer, which for me and my age and what I do, it's great because I get to go away for 4 or 5 days and then come back again. With everything that's happening in the world at the moment, that's not really, they call it ship hopping. So you can ship hop from one to another. Well, that's not going to happen this year because with everything going on. So they have given me a fantastic opportunity. I'm discussing it with obviously my partner because, you know, I do have a child. A high maintenance child. But yeah, it's really exciting. I should find out in about a week, but it's one of my favorite cruise lines to work with, Celebrity Cruises. They're launching a brand new ship.
I'm feeling very positive that things are going to come back, and I can't imagine all these chips are going to be parked forever. And you know, all these entertainers who are world class like you are, and going out and actually entertaining, you know, so many people who I think will start going back. I mean, as long as they feel secure that everybody on the ship
Absolutely.
is and vaccinated, and you know, I think it's slowly going to come back. And in fact, I'm going to admit I'm a little over this now. I think, you know, it's time.
We all are. Yeah. And I think the vaccine, the NHS are doing an incredible job. The vaccines, you know, what are we now? 38, 39 million. I mean, it's the statistics are, you know, proving that as well. But as long as we all stick by the rules still, and you know, that social distance and all of that malarkey, I'm sure it'll be fine. But a lot of my friends in West End shows, because obviously I did West End, as you said, you know, for 10 years. I've not been into that circle for about 5 years now, so I feel very much out of that. But a lot of my friends are still in it, really good friends of mine that are in Pretty Woman, and actually I'm meeting, hopefully, you know, in the next couple of weeks, and I'm talking to her a lot about the whole process. And it's the same with the theatres, you know, they've got to just be very, very careful, you know, maybe a 60% capacity to begin with, but just let's get back on stage, you know, it's like, ugh.
I'm crossing for Pride in London in September. I don't know how they're going to control it, or even if it will need to be, who knows what will happen in the next few months. I mean, now that, I mean, most of the UK is, you know, getting vaccinated, so, which is amazing. But on a brighter note, because we want to not stop, we want to put COVID behind us and move forward and entertain people, because that's what we do. I want to wrap this up by saying I'm super excited to see you for a real dinner and a real drink, and not a quarantini. I love you to bits. I
love you too.
So much for joining me on my live chat.
Anytime.
And I don't think we left anything out. I have to
maybe
say,
we can do another Instagram live before Gay Pride, so we can really sell it for artistry, which is just it's just the best day. It's the best day. And also, I just wanted to quickly say, my mother and father from Burnley have just booked their hotel. They're coming to Gay Pride this year, which I just absolutely can't wait. So, yeah.
Come over here then. God knows she hasn't left Canada for a year.
Oh, I'm so sad about that. I know you've, and you're so close with your mum. You've not seen her for so long. It's crazy.
Oh.
It's so crazy. But, and also as well, yeah, before I go, this is Percy Maltese Poodle, and Stacey got also a Maltese Poodle, Frankie.
Yeah.
Yay. I love you so much. Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining me. I love you bits. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on Stacey Jackson and Andrew Derbyshire's live chit chat. Bye-bye.
Ciao. Bye. Bye. Love you. Bye.